Greetings, this is the Insomniac GM, and today I just want to go with I want to add on to a conversation they had over on Gatekeepers, I believe it was on Legion of Myths channel that week, but the gang got all together and had a discussion on if you were to take 5th edition and try to change it up a bit to run kind of like old school games, but keeping it at 5th edition, how would you go about it? Well, in their video, they talked about going with older editions of D&D, in the rules of having race as class or putting level restrictions. And as they talked about this, I thought of things I would add. And frankly, I do not have the time to join their streams. I don't know if I could join their streams, and I'm not to the point of being able to conversate with them about it. I'm trying to get better at speaking my mind to that. But so I wanted to add on to what they were saying. And one thing with me is I've DM'd 5th edition more than anything, so I think I can throw in a few points on my own. So one thing I would change is their saving throws. I do not like 5th edition saving throws. Strength saving throw never comes up. Charisma saving throws hardly ever come up. If you're playing vanilla, they're not coming up. Personally, I would have liked to go with just the basic reflex, fort, and fort and will, but what would work too is using the saving throws from older editions of D&D, which I can't remember them all, but it's like you'll have like a breath save. And let's say your breath save is 15. Instead of adding anything, you just take your D20, you roll it. I got a 15. I succeeded. Okay, let's go again. Got a 16. I succeeded. So you want to roll a 15 or higher. They have ones for different occasions. Now, with how narrative 5th edition is and how everyone uses it that way, this saving throw system would really work well, because instead of being like, okay, make me a reflex saving throw, and they roll, you can just go, you enter inside the dragon's lair, and as you step in, your foot hits around some coins that clatter around the horde, and you see as coins just shower down to the ground as the head of the dragon comes storming out, peering at you. It opens its mouth with flames building up, and it blasts right at you. Make a save. I failed. And the DM rolls for damage. It is pretty smooth. I would use the old saves for 5th edition to capture the older feel. Now, another thing I would do too to change it is I would change skills. Me personally, I would get rid of them, but I know a lot of people love the skill system in 5th edition. So if you want to go with more of a good medium on it, what I would do is when they end up choosing that they're proficient in it, instead of getting a bonus, like let's say they have a dexterity of 4 and their proficiency bonus is 2, that would equal a bonus of 6. Instead of that, why don't we make it where if the players do this, then they end up, instead of getting a bonus, they create a DC for them. So you do the same thing. So now you will add the 8, because they always do that for the DC. So 8 plus Dex plus proficiency, which is 4 and 2, we end up creating a total of 14. Okay, so with that, now one thing with older editions, you want to roll lower, so we can say our DC is 14 or lower. So now players just roll, I got a 5, I succeeded on that, whatever that skill was. Let's say it was stealth. And with that, it would make the game a lot more faster with skills on that. Me personally, I still don't like the idea of skills, but there's that. Okay, so another thing I would probably do too is I'd lower the hit dice down by 1. Keep the, let's use the fighter because I just recorded the fighter video. So fighter has a hit die of D10. So instead of every level they get a D10, let's just say first level they get a D10 and they gotta roll it, or you can max it, that's up to you. But level 2 and on, they get a D8. So it's 2 hit points lower. It's going to start causing the game to be a little bit more lethal. Now, another thing I would personally change to create that older feel is get rid of cantrips. Turn all the cantrips into level 1 spells. Now, if you don't want to do that, another option you can do that they do in there in older editions is you can keep cantrips, but bump stuff like Eldritch Blast up to level 1, and then create for cantrips like spells like Prestidigitation, stuff that's not going to, like non-combat cantrips. So no damage, damage cantrips. Okay, and or something else I was gonna say. Oh, and another thing I would do to capture the feel too, unless you're playing in Forgotten Realms or a homebrew setting, I would how do I want to word this? I would lower the amount of spells, like lower current spell slots by 1, and instead of losing a spell slot, make a save to keep the spell. Okay, so let me explain that to you. So let's say you're playing and you're playing a level 1 wizard. Okay, we'll say that. So as a level 1 wizard, instead of having 2 level 1 spells, make it just 1 level 1 spells. Treat that as the number of spells you know. Now, that's going to lower it a lot more for the wizard, but because of that, it's going to end up causing it for more opportunities for the DM to reward players with spell scrolls. Now, let's say your level 1 spell is, I'm trying to remember what the level 1s are for wizard that are like damaging. Let's just say Burning Hands. That's probably not a level 1, that's been forever. You can cast Burning Hands. Now, instead, you roll and you see if you get to keep the spell. If you keep it, you can cast Burning Hands again and again and again. But when you fail that spell, then you lose it for the day and you need to rest. Now, to determine the DC for that, we can do the do the same thing. Do DC 8 plus, and we'll do intelligence plus proficiency. So let's say your intelligence is 4, proficiency is 2, that ends up meaning, once again, it's a 14. Let's say it's 14 or lower. I got a 5. I get to keep burning. Sorry. I get to keep Burning Hands. I feel those are things you could do with the game that would capture the older feel of Dungeons and Dragons, without doing... Like, I wanted to add my own take to this. Actually, a few more things I would add too is no attacks of opportunity. I feel like that slows down combat so much. But yeah, I would add those into the game. Tell me if, in the comments below, if you had to take things from 1st and 2nd edition D&D and hack 5th edition to play like that, what would you do? These are just some changes I would make. I would love to hear it in the comments. Yeah, till next time.